Peace, family. This is the second part of my video where I discuss the reason and purpose for things. The first part of my video pertained to the government. This one here is going to focus on the people. This stemmed from a woman asked a question, is dealing with the frustration of this political system. Why do we even need a government to tell us what to do in the first place? And the sad part about that is the fact that this woman is so frustrated on the way this system of government is. She's considering living in an ungoverned society. That makes absolutely no sense. But it speaks specifically to a person that has not realized their purpose in life. And trust and believe, she's not the only Black person that share this sentiment. There's a lot of Black people that think like this. But if we ever knew our purpose, the reason we were here, and the purpose for that, we wouldn't be having this type of discussion. As a matter of fact, if I was to ask you, what is the reason for a government? What would your answer be? In my humble opinion, the reason for a government is this. As I stated in my first video, it separates uncivilized society from civilized society. You want to live up under a governing system. And the reason why you form a government is because once society gets to a certain point, their way of life must be protected. The economics, the policies, the laws, the rights, freedoms, and privileges all need to be protected. Once you go through a series of debates and agreements are forged, you set a governing system in place to hold everybody accountable to these agreements. And then policies, laws, and legislation is made to protect the needs and interests of these people as they proceed further in life. But because we don't know our purpose, and we've never been a part of a true governing system, because see, let me put it like this. No people, I don't care what number it is, how great, how small it is, while they're in the midst of being oppressed, working for people, and they're still poor, going to the hospital and they're still sick, going to the grocery stores and they're still hunger. Nobody will go in this system here and decide to build a governing body to maintain this status of society. Nobody would do that. We participate in this system because we don't know our purpose. We don't know that a governing system that's made for you will never be as good as a governing system made by you, because we have been so far removed from our purpose, from our reason for being here. We accept this. We accept fighting wars that don't allow and provide our people peace and prosperity. We are actually fighting to defend the oppression of our own people. If we just realize and reincorporated our reasons for being here and our purpose for being here, we could change the socioeconomic conditions of our people in no time. This is one of the reasons why I created my organization, Citizens of the African Order, to reinstill the reason and purpose of our existence. God said, let us make man in our image. We are the image of God. God also said, let them justify my glory. Can you imagine what type of people we would be if we realized that we were made in the image of God and we are the physical manifestation, the justification of his glory? Will we be participating in social economic conditions up under this system and dealing with this government system to have us so frustrated that we would do away with the whole thing. If we realized the purpose for being here, we would also realize that the government doesn't give purpose to the people. People are supposed to give purpose to the government. They are here supposed to be to work to protect the needs and interests of the people. And like I say, this cannot be made for you. It must be made by you. And it's not until we come to that realization and start to build businesses, industries, and institutions to safeguard and protect our own needs and interests, and then forge our own governing body to protect it. Because when you look at the system that we have today, this country is almost 250 years old. When they forged their constitution to this country, when they fought the war to end slavery, our people stayed enslaved for another 90 years. And white people put businesses, industries, and institutions to protect their needs and interests. They never intended them to be for blacks. This is why 250 years later, you can elect a felon as president that further attacked the very essence of us as a people. He's attacking our rights, our freedom of speech, our ability to be employed. Just the other day, this fool done declassified nursing degree as a professional career. Why he can do this? Because 40 million blacks in this country don't realize their purpose for being here. We can end this if we participate in establishing our own independent means to sustain our own existence and create a systemic solution to the systemic problem that's been plaguing our people. Not no freaking boycott, protest, and then once the demonstration is over, you go right back to the same people that you would boycott and protest and thinking it's going to be different. Their priorities has never been ours. And the only way that we're going to achieve and fulfill God's intention when he put us on this planet is if we have ownership and control over our existence and have self-determination over our community. And like I said before, that will never be made for you. It has to be made by you. I'm going to end this video here. And as always, these are my thoughts, my opinions. And I invite you to leave yours in the comments. And I'll see you in my next video. Ashe.